Today on the Topic Show, new pink Stanley thermos sells out immediately as women go in droves to the stores. Vivek roasts the Washington Post's report for asking what he calls to be the stupidest question ever. Disney loses their top spot as movie maker since first time since 2015. Xerox to lay off approximately 15% of their workforce. Ford to copy Toyota with a hybrid roadmap. U.S. debt passed $34 trillion for the first time in history, and Apple to sell an iTunes gift card scam. All of that and much more on the Topping Show. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of Topping Show is sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. Gotta say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, you see, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner, you can reach the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of January, so if you click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Now going over to the business part of the podcast here, Xerox cutting approximately 15% of their workforce, which translates to about 3,000 jobs, causing their stock to precipitously drop by about 12.15%. Now this story was first broken by Shannon Thaler over on the New York Post, and they note that Xerox claims is part of their so-called quote-unquote reinventage. Again, I'm not a doctor. However, if you click subscribe, it may help with my speaking ineptitudes. Xerox claims it's part of their reinvention strategy. And granted, on their website, they have about approximately 20,000 employees. So this correlation is, again, 3,000 employees that'll be laid off. They claim that is part of a much larger restructuring that will be, as a company is trying to adopt a new business model and organizational structure aimed at boosting its core print business. Which, I don't want to say it's an outdated business model, but we've seen this number of printer manufacturers has been, I would say, decreasing overall. Xerox is still one of the best in terms of the marketplace, the partner support, the infrastructure, especially for supporting business accounts. That's really where they thrive. Truth be told, I don't know a single individual who owns a printer that is a Xerox. Leave it in the comments. Have you ever seen a Xerox printer at a house? I mean, truth be told, most people I know have either Brother or Hewlett Packard, who they especially seem to thrive in the consumer market. Now, that being said, of course, one of the largest markets is business-to-business transactions. Now, it looks like in terms of the company shakeup, they will also form a new business unit and execute an executive shuffle that will, quote, see the president and chief operating officer, John Bruno, leading the enterprise alignment of the company's print, digital services, and tech services business, and Louis Pastor, Xerox Chief Transformation Officer, will oversee the new global business services organization that, according to CBS. They also know that the company's longtime in-house counsel, Flor Cullen, will be promoted to Chief Legal Officer. It looks like the stock went down all the way down to about $16.26 per share, which begs the question, I wonder what the long-term trend is for their stock. So again, pulling up their stock, let's go to the max. Let's just say, in terms of business acumen and strategy, they don't have the best roadmap. A lot of people will consistently make fun of them forever for giving Steve Jobs a lot of the infrastructure and ideas around the personal computer for basically very, very little. Yeah, it was one of those instances where Xerox created revolutionary technology. They're using it internally, but they never really capitalized on it. And of course, now Apple is, I believe it's 2022. A couple years ago, they were the most profitable company on the planet. More profitable than oil companies, energy companies, pharmaceutical companies, defense companies. Apple was on top. I think they were later dethroned by Saudi Aramco, but still, multi-trillion-dollar business to this day. Now, again, looking at the max of the stock for Xerox, they're down negative 25.78%. In the past 5-year trend, they're down 19.32%. The past 1 year, they're actually up by a little bit, 6.59%. Year to date doesn't mean much because, again, it's been a week, but that's more closer to the 10 to 12% that we've seen in terms of the news. So they certainly have a lot left to be desired when it comes to actually increasing the value of the company. And they talk a little bit about how they were able to turn a profit in recent years, including 2022. They did generate a profit of $7.1 billion. In 2021, they raked in $7.06 billion. slightly more than the 7.02 billion they made in 2020, when they actually abandoned their attempted $35 billion attempt to have a hostile takeover over Hewlett Packard Inc., which again, HPE and HP are two separately publicly traded companies. Hewlett Packard used to be one company. They never really integrated when they bought Compaq. So Hewlett Packard Enterprise is the stuff that most businesses buy. It's the back end infrastructure. You got the servers, you got the storage, you got the networking. And HP Inc. is appropriately named Inc. because they make the printers, the laptops, and a lot of the peripherals that we see. And I believe they bought out HyperX, which is a most people call it a gaming microphone, a few years back as well. So it'll be interesting to see. Again, it's a pretty competitive market, especially for printers, because there are a couple. I mean, the main ones are gonna be Hewlett Packard, Brother, Lexmark is another big one for enterprise accounts. I mean, so it'll be interesting to see how much they can continue to grow and increase the profits. I suspect they'll be pushing more managed services, building out their partner community. But again, perhaps this really isn't that bad of news in terms of we've seen a lot of these companies that are just really bloated with a lot of fat. And I think Elon really started the trend of just ripping away the band-aid or sucking the fat out. Some funny metaphor should be put there instead. And showing how much more lean a company can be and achieve the same, if not better, results. So we see more and more IT companies, especially the large companies, doing that past 12, 24 months as we have unprecedented economic uncertainty. So it'll be interesting to see, does Xerox continue their growth rate? Could they ever overtake the others in the market? And let me know in the comments, when was the last time you actually used a Xerox device? I mean, truth be told, well, granted, I'm a little bit unusual. I used to work at Hewlett Packard Enterprise, so they're kind of like cousins, not legally related, but all of our infrastructure for inside sales was Hewlett Packard stuff. So the all-in-one, scan, print, copy machines, they were all HP. So my anecdotal experience doesn't really add much value in terms of my interaction with the physical devices from Xerox. But it'd be fascinating to hear, have you ever used a Xerox, and do you think they're better than the competition, and will they grow? It'd be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, again, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, I'm trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of January, so if you click that button, I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback and how I can make the show better and better and better. Also, lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.